down. I'm your host, Class. This is my co-host.
Mr. J.
Yeah. And on this show, we like to put two great superheroes together to go mano a mano, one-on-one. On today's episode, we're going to do something a little different than we normally do on our episodes. We're going
Slightly
to,
different today.
yeah, slightly different. We're going to provide a different type of option. So on this episode, we're going to give you the option between three. The first two options are usually the major ones we're going to usually focus on, which is ones with superpowers and ones without superpowers. Of course, the rules are pretty simple. It's kind of like being in an isolated cage. There's no way out. It's just the two people going mano a mano, or the superheroes going mano a mano. And today, my boy right here won the coin toss.
Yes, I did.
All right, so which one did you pick?
I wanted to have them have their abilities and have their powers. I feel like that makes it more for an interesting fight. So I chose with powers.
Okay, and who do you want to pick to start off the argument?
I will actually let you start it off, brother.
All right. Okay, so superpowers. This is actually going to be a very interesting one. I wrote a couple notes down to kind of keep myself on my toes, because I want to make sure I don't lose myself in the focus here. Actually, very powerful mutant. She actually has very expertise in martial arts. She has some kind of blast sonic thing that comes out of her hands. She can also use some kind of sword. So she's a very powerful mutant. That's what I'll give for start.
Omega level.
Omega level, okay. However, let's talk about my boy Nightcrawler, who I will be defending today. Nightcrawler is actually very acrobatic, and because of that, has gained some abilities for physical tip-top shape. He's like, the durability is phenomenal, which means he can actually stand toe-to-toe with the best of them and actually get into a fight for a long period of time. That's actually a very beneficial thing. Now, another thing I wanted to add up, it was something I just recently learned about, which are called BAMFs. If you don't know what a BAMF is, I'm about to blow your mind. Okay, so at first they said it's just the sound that Nightcrawler makes when he teleports. That was the concept of it first. And then you find out, nope, they wanted to add a little story to it. BAMFs are these little miniaturized Nightcrawler-looking things that actually are loyal to Nightcrawler, since apparently he defeated his father, and now they're like, he's a father to their figure, and kind of that kind of concept. So there's these little minions that actually could benefit in a fight, considering the fact that this is a superpower fight. And since he teleports the majority of the time, he provides bringing these little guys back with him. Now, just bringing all that together. Okay, so let me start off with what he can do to beat Pyslocke. Now, Pyslocke does have the ability of mind control and all that stuff, but at the same time, she has to be able to catch the guy to do it. Now, she has to be able to lock eyes or something in order to make sure that is being able to be maintained or being able to control someone's mind. Now, if Nightcrawler keeps moving, it could be a little tricky to do that. At the same time, these little minions are very helpful because they could be a distraction. And also at the same time, Nightcrawler's tail is so strong it can actually throw an adult-sized man. Now, Pyslocke might have the ability to fight martial arts, and Nightcrawler can go toe-to-toe and hand-to-hand combat. Keep in mind, that tail is going to be a third hand. It's going to come in handy. It's going to swing, it's going to attack, and it might even cut a little. So while he's throwing down with her, going fight, teleporting in each direction, trying to throw swings at her with acrobatic style moves, it can be tricky for the martial artist to maintain focus when your opponent's going from every different direction, using not only two hands, but using the tail as well as a fighting tactic style. Maybe even tossing you around here and there just for the fun of it. Now, at the same time, of course, this might tire out Nightcrawler a little bit. Let's keep that in mind. But the great part about Nightcrawler is that he has these suction cup discs or something like that he can actually latch onto walls. Now, teleporting back and forth, he's got these little guys in his corner. Keeping her big as he could just go up in the ceilings, chill for a minute, take a breather, and then go back at it again. And then go back at it again. And again. And again. And again. Now, another thing about his teleportation thing is when he grabs onto someone else, it weakens them. Teleporting them from one place to another does not do them any help. So if he decides, I want to teleport her from one spot to another, just little by little, taking deep breaths. Remember, he has a lot of durability. All he has to do is tire her out. Takes a lot on her, takes a toll on her. Eventually, weakens her enough to knock her dead. That's my argument.
Well, being that is a strong argument, I think you forget Psylocke also has the ability to teleport. She can shadow teleport, actually. As well, she has the ability to fly. Psylocke has many different abilities. She, like I said, is an Omega level mutant. And that is something that I think Nightcrawler is really going to have a tough time dealing with, being that she is so strong. She does have so many abilities. Like you mentioned the psionic blades as swords and knives that she is frequently using. She also has the ability to astral project. She can project herself in the astral form. She's also immune to magic. So, could that play a part in the fight? I don't know. Maybe Nightcrawler's little magic abilities won't work on her as well as you might hope. But she is an extremely skilled fighter, really well skilled in Jiu-Jitsu. She's also a super spy. So that could come into the fight a little bit. I think she's going to be a bit of a tougher fight than you anticipate for Nightcrawler. She is also a very skilled swordsman.
Well, that's great, but he's a master with it. Okay, he's a master at it. She might be a skilled swordsman, but he's a master. He's known to be a master. And he's known to be a master. What are those fencing people? Master in that. Being a master in that, along with the fact that he has always possessed that tail with him, he must be practicing every day with that weapon to be able to use it and an ability to use it in a fight situation. On top of that, when she does, what was it that you say, where she astral projects or whatever that's
Astral
called?
projection.
Astral projection, she actually gets weakened that way. So even if she wanted to try using that ability, she would need to stay somewhere, close her eyes, and hope to God that he doesn't come out of nowhere and hit her like left and right.
She can create force field, bro.
I know, but at the same time, Nightcrawler is not magic. Nightcrawler is a mutant. His superpowers, it's not magic. He didn't get it from the gods or anything. He got it genetically. So would he be able to go into a force field at any particular point in time? Absolutely, because you know why? Nightcrawler has also this great thing about what's it called? Let me show you. It was called something awareness. It's called natural direction finding sense. So it's this ability where he literally, with all his senses, knows where everything is, from the ground to the sides to everything. He knows it so well because if he didn't do it right, he could get his feet stuck in concrete. He could wind up in a wall, all that stuff. So he has that great sensibility, which actually does grow through time. So if he, let's say hypothetically, wanted to teleport her into a wall, she could suffocate. If he wanted to teleport, but obviously he can't do that because this is being inside a steel cage. There's no way around it. There's no going outside the field. That would be an all-out brawl. But that being said, he does have that ability to knows his surroundings a lot more, which means that if he wanted to, he could psych her out, make her believe that, oh, there's no way you're going to get in my force field. And the reality is, all he has to do is remember, he knows his surroundings much easier. Boom, teleport inside where she's at, catch her off guard. So that force field might help for a second, but it won't help. She's got to be able to put the force field up, close her eyes, and then astral project. She can't do all that at once while she's fighting a man who literally teleports here and there. Now, she might be able to teleport, but that's not her special power. And she might be able to fly, but how well is she in flying? She doesn't fly a lot. If you read apparently in some of the comics, she's not mentioned at all about her flying skills as often. And
it isn't mentioned a lot, no.
Yeah.
But so it is still one of her big main abilities.
It might be, but do we know if she's good at flying? Do we know if she's skilled at flying? Because like Captain Marvel, for example,
she's actually a skilled pilot.
Yeah, she's a skilled pilot. Yeah, I heard about that. But there is a difference between mechanically driving a craft and actually literally using your entire body to fly. You know? It's not the same thing. It's like if you're like Superman. Superman knows his elements very well. Why? Because he's been flying since he was a teenager. You know?
Yeah.
He was a kid. So he can get comfortable, familiar with the and all that. But when you see the Superman movies, you can tell it's hard for him when he's trying to fly for the first time. It's not easy. It's just like, woof. So even the great man like that, who had taken the time to learn his ability, a woman who has not used her ability that often to fly and only uses it rarely, might not be able to fly properly. Not more a skill set as an acrobatic man who's been doing this since he was a kid. That's a different essence. A man who can climb around walls and do a whole lot of jumping around rather than and teleport at the same time, that's a lot more of a beneficial than someone who can just fly up in the air. You know? That's my argument.
Maybe.
Okay, so, well, how would you figure she would beat Nightcrawler though?
I think she would probably maybe beat him hand to hand. Maybe she's slightly more skilled hand to hand than he is, or better with the katana.
Remember, this is a superpower fight. If this was an ordinary one-on-one, if you had made it like a one-on-one fight, she might have had a good chance. Like, if he was just human, no powers, she might have had a good chance. Because she has better skill set. She's actually more martial art expert, and he's more kind of like friendlier, religious sense-wise. Like, he's more like, I'm incapable of fighting like with martial arts. He's acrobatic, but he's not martial arts.
I think giving them the abilities and their superpowers makes it slightly more dangerous for Nightcrawler, being that Psylocke's skills and powers and her abilities, they're so vast and just, they're everywhere. There's so many things she can do, and there's a couple maybe different ways that she can beat him. Even if he's somehow able to disarm her and take away her katana, even if he's able to do that, she always has a weapon on her.
Right. Yeah, no, that's understandable. But remember, like I said, he wouldn't be trying to go one-on-one with her, obviously. The teleportation is his bread and butter. Using his teleportation abilities, using his tail, using the ability to weaken her up, that's how he would get her. He's not the type of character to stay in one place, and he's actually the type of person who can keep himself from a distance. That's why he's pretty well in the whole durability, because he doesn't just immediately waste all his energy. He tries to keep some of that ability, takes his time before going to go toe-to-toe with a person, because he also knows it takes a toll on him too when he does these things.
Yeah.
So yeah, she is powerful. There's no doubt about it. But she's not beatable. She has been beaten before, and I'm sure she's been beaten by even weaker mutants than Nightcrawler. So I don't know who, but I bet if I look it up, I can find it. But that being said, Nightcrawler would give her a run for his money. Now, you're saying that because of her abilities, there's no way Nightcrawler can beat her. And I'm saying... No,
I'm saying it's possible that he could beat her, yes. But 9 times out of 10, I think she wins the fight. She's much more vicious, and she's much more prone to go for the kill than Nightcrawler is. Nightcrawler would maybe give her a chance, maybe just ask her to give up. She's not like that. So that's why I think she wins.
Well, so I would agree with that, but there is another comic where he actually loses his soul. And losing losing your soul means you might not have your humanity left. So let's say if this is what Nightcrawler is, then that means there is no sympathy you're going to get from Nightcrawler when it comes to a fight. He's going to go
after you. But that's if you're using that version of Nightcrawler. The normal standard version everybody knows. It's not exactly like that. Yeah.
So, but I'm gonna use the vicious one because this is a vicious fight. But
of course you are.
Because X2, if you see him in there, you could tell Nightcrawler looked hungry. That dude was a vicious. Like in the beginning of the whole movie, the dude was whooping all over the place. So a man who is on the hunt, going toe-to-toe with another mutant, I gotta say, I still believe that Nightcrawler would give her a run for her money in that essence. But then again, this is just an opinion for both our ends. If you guys feel like, Nightcrawler would win or Psylocke would win, please.
What is your opinion? Please let us know.
Please leave it down in the comment section below. Subscribe to our channel, like or share. We really appreciate you guys. As always, thank you so much. Catch you guys later. Peace.